sun came out today, and it called us out to play. And the wind blows chill, only for a moment, then everything stood still. And I could breathe in sunshine, walk without the pain, breathe in life like we're standing above the clouds, and blue skies without the rain. Someone told us to sit still.
Check, 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 1, 2,
Because
1,
from
2,
here
3.
on out, it's all downhill.
12. Oh, things moved around. 1, check, 1, 2, 3. 12. 12, 3, 2. What am I doing here? Oh, look, there's a cactus. Oh, well, there's 2 cactus, so I guess it's a cacti. All right, where am I? Click on the bright button, stupid. Oh, there I am. Oh, hello. It's people. There's people out there. Hope everybody's having a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are on the planet. I hope you're having a great day. It is Tuesday here. I don't know what day it is there. I'm in a time warp. I'm in a time bubble sometimes. I don't know what I'm doing. Shut up, Danny, and play some music. That's what they... My good friend Vic told me. I was on the microphone telling jokes, and you know, some people were laughing, but Vic looked at me and goes, "Shut up and play music. That's why we're here." So anyway, if you feel free to chat, because I have YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, all streaming to all 3 at the same time, and I don't know who's actually in here watching, so you're gonna have to let me know by saying hello, and say hello. Otherwise, I'm gonna start playing some music, and I'm gonna have some fun. I don't know about you. There's a weird camera issue on one of these cameras here. If you like what you see, let me know. If you don't like what you see, go away. I'm just kidding. I'm all up for helpful criticism. Always. Unless it's negative. No, I'm kidding. No, seriously. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to shut up and sing something. This is a song I wrote for my streams, and I'm adding stuff to it as I go. So it's not really done yet. So it's called Start the Show, because it's time to start the show, right? Whee! That was fun. Uh-oh, where's my keyboard? days I'm going to figure out how to play this thing. Sorry. Defect. Beat the frog. Drums. We're leaving the whole galaxy. Okay, we're leaving the solar system. I don't have a bass guitar in. I'll try this one. Fake bass. What happened to this camera? Now he told us that. See, you don't have to know how to play the piano. Just do it like that. Keep my ugly face in it. Something sounds weird in my keys. Oh well, let's just go with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn on the lights, open the curtain wide, open up your eyes, see what's inside. It's time for the show. Let's get the show on the road. Leave your worries behind you, let the music flow. It's time for the show. Let's get this show on the road. Leave your worries behind you, let the music flow. It's time for the show. Let's get this show on the road. Leave your worries behind you, let the music flow. It's time for the show. Let's get this show on the road. Leave your worries behind you, let the music flow. It's time for the show. Let's get the show on the road. Leave your worries behind you, let the music flow. A color on my shirt. How's everybody doing out there? I said, how's everybody doing out there? Thank you. That's so difficult. There's still cars driving on my shirt. Get this stuff out of here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by. What's going on? Let's turn the drums down. Let's turn the... giant woodpecker. Now there's bicycles on my shirt. I got my green screens broke. Okay, so what did I tell everybody? Turn that off now. I told everybody I was going to tell stories. I have a story about my dad. Okay, let me read these comments for this. I see you just past Saturn. Where are you going? Larry says, where are we going? We were going to the edge of the solar system. I'm actually I'm going to put some videos behind me that are from a space simulation game that I like to play once in a while. I don't get enough time to do it, but actually there's a freaking eclipse on my shirt. Can anybody tell I'm hungry? I've got a black hole in my stomach. That is that's a video I made of the eclipse. Went to Oregon 2017 to see the eclipse, and I took videos and pictures, and that's one of the videos I took. If I get me out of the stupid way, you can see it. It was amazing. I don't know if you've ever seen a total solar eclipse in your life, but it is a thing you have to see, to witness, to go, holy moly, it's a lot more amazing than you would think. As a matter of fact, there were, I've been where there were solar eclipses, but there was cloud coverage and I didn't get to see them directly, so there were so many things that I just really didn't expect. I knew these things would happen, but I really didn't expect it. One of the things I didn't expect is as soon as it went to totality, it got really cold really fast. And let's see, let's put me in here. Kind of shrink me out and get me out of the way while we're watching this video. Come on, let me position this and go.
Oh, now I feel really small. Can anybody say too much helium in my studio?
So the other thing that I noticed, okay, it just came out of totality, so let's go back up a little bit. One of the cool things was, like I said, it got really, really super cold really fast. The other thing is when it just before totality, it was just kind of like dusk, and it was still daylight. Then boom, nothing. It got dark really fast, and it looked like there was a sunset all the way around the horizon. There was like a glow around the horizon. Another thing I didn't realize is bees. Bees were flying around, and all of a sudden they were in the grass. They were like buzzing around the grass. They just all dropped to the ground and said, "Screw it, we're out of here." You want to go to the Galaxy Andromeda? Danny. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, but we can't go there. Oh wait, I got some medication here. I think I stole some of my mom's pills when she passed away, and I think you can go to Andromeda with those. I'm kidding. Do not take drugs. Kids, don't do drugs. Stay in school. And if you got a hot teacher, see if you can, work something. Shut up, Danny. So anyway, eclipse, 2017. Well, I lost my hand. Can somebody give me a hand? I'm an idiot. Let's go back to before totality. So the bees went crazy. Birds were flying around, and birds started acting really crazy. Roosters started crowing. You don't call it crowing. Roosters started doing their rooster thing. And cows started hollering in the distance. And it was just an amazing thing that I never expected. I never expected all that. I knew all that, but I never expected it to that extreme, and it was really awesome. So if you ever get a chance to go see another solar eclipse anywhere, go do it. It is amazing if you've never seen one. All right, so Jim said, good afternoon, Danny. Larry said, Take Me has to be more intellectual people out there than here. You got that right. How about some Mozart? Jim? Let's see, do I know any Mozart? Let's see. Remember it. I used to play that, but I can't remember it now. But that's not Mozart anyway, is it? I never paid attention to classical music enough to know what's what. And yes, let's see, who said that? Danny said, animals more sensitive to changes. Yes, they are. They're very sensitive. That was actually one of my things I was talking about just, was it yesterday? About animals being able to get close to animals. Moonlight Sonata. You know, I don't have to do this, do it. I'm just going to sit here and play around on the piano. So Danny said, Danny came in twice. He said, my iPad won't work on Periscope. Some tablets don't. Slow motion of a beach in La Jolla, California. So, like I said, I was going to tell you stories about my dad. I was going to tell you a story about a pet hamster I had, but I couldn't find the picture, so I'm going to save that for another day. So I'm going to start telling some dad stories. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn that thing on so that can fix the green screen behind me. A little better. It's a little better now, isn't it? So, my dad did some crazy things, but some of the funniest things that happened was after he passed away. One of the things I was going to share is my dad died sitting on a toilet. And what a lot of people, you may not know this, I actually looked it up, but a lot of people have died on toilets. Elvis Presley died on a toilet, and some other king, King Henry, somebody, also died on a toilet. Danny says, La Jolla, California. Have been there. La Jolla is a nice place. And my dad died sitting on a toilet. Now his pants weren't down, so what happened is he was having a heart attack, and he was in the bathroom, and the only place, when you're feeling faint or whatever, the only place to sit down is the toilet. So I've often thought to myself, oh, Colonel's in. Hello, Colonel. Hello, thank you for stopping by, sir. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. You mean the throne? Yes, the throne. Oh, that's actually funny. I got that, Jim. The king was sitting on the throne. And the King Henry something or other was sitting on the throne too. But anyway, it's the only place to sit in the bathroom except for, on the edge of the tub. So when you're feeling faint, you sit down on the toilet. Now, what I realize is I don't want to be known for having died sitting on the toilet. So I really want to get a comfortable chair and put in the bathroom. So I have somewhere to sit if I'm feeling faint, you know. So yeah, a lot of people have died sitting on the toilet, and so did my dad. Anyway, so on back to silly stuff about my dad is after he passed away. Let's turn that thing off. Turn this up just a bit. After my dad passed away, we were all thinking of what to do. We're gonna have I didn't want to have a memorial service, but you know, everybody's like, you gotta have a memorial service, blah blah blah. Larry says almost did 9/17 and had a major stroke. And yes, I was on the throne when it happened. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Are you? I'm assuming you're better now. I mean, you can type messages on Facebook, but that's crazy. Were you just there because that was the only place to sit, or were you actually? Never mind. We don't need to know the details of that. I'm just glad you're here, because that is a scary thing to happen. So my dad passed away, and I was living in Virginia, and I flew out to Oregon to take care of all his stuff and his affairs, and everybody's telling me, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. My dad just passed away. I was feeling like crap. But every time I turned around, there was something popping up that just it was just like, yeah, that's my dad. I went to the bank to take care of his, bank account and stuff, and I guess he had cracked a lot of jokes with some of the people in the bank, so they knew him really well. But we were trying to figure out something to do. My dad didn't want to be buried. He told me that. He said, I asked him, because he was a month prior, I was talking to him, and I said, what if something happens to you? What should we do? What do you want me to do with your body? And he told me, I don't care, just put me in a tow sack and throw me off a bridge. Like, no, Dad, I can't do that. He's like, just toss me out in the ocean, let me be fish food. I don't care. Like, Dad, you can't do that. So he never did give me an answer, but I knew he didn't want to be buried because his mother, my grandmother, passed away just the month before that, and he said he didn't go to the funeral because he said he couldn't see anybody put her in the cold, hard ground. So, like, well, that tells me my dad doesn't want to be buried. So cremation was, the option there. So I had him cremated, and we had the ashes, and somebody suggested, because my dad loved flying. He was an aircraft mechanic. He worked for a helicopter outfit in Eugene, Oregon. And someone suggested maybe he would have liked to have had his ashes spread out of a helicopter or an airplane or above, So I'm like, that's a great idea. So not only that, I go to the helicopter place where he worked, and they were totally up for the idea, and they're like, yes, we would love to do that for you. That would be awesome. So I'm thinking, hey, I get a free helicopter ride out of this deal. I'm like, thanks, Dad, I get a free helicopter ride, because I love flying too. So I go to the helicopter place, and I'm like, and we start talking about doing it. So I had my dad's ashes in a plastic container, and I was trying to lighten the mood because, everybody there worked with my dad, and they were friends with him, and they missed him. And so I walk in with this container full of my dad's ashes, and everybody's just staring at me. There's like this dead stare and dead silence in the shop, and I'm like, it's dehydrated Dad. Does anybody have any water? And they all had this morbid look on their face. I'm like, it's my dad. If this was my ashes, he would be cracking jokes a lot worse than mine. So they all chuckled, and it all went okay. So anyway, we get the pilot, we get up in the helicopter. I'm going to go strangle that dog. She barks and nobody does anything about it. And I can't concentrate when the dog's barking. It's just pinching a nerve. There's a nerve. There's a nerve. I do have a nerve. Like somebody says, "Hey, you got some knife." So we get in a helicopter. And I got Dad's ashes in a plastic bucket. And we take off. And I got the headset on, and I'm all harnessed in. And we get flying over a mountain. I can't think. Can't think with the dog barking. So we fly up, and the pilot's like, "Okay, I'm going to take you up over the mountains outside of Eugene. And when we get up to a certain point, I'll let you know, and then we can spread the ashes." And he said, "No, what I'm going to do is we get up there, and we get over this nice area and everything, way up in the mountains." He says, "Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the helicopter going forward, get a little forward motion, so that as you dump the ashes, they're all going to go down and away from the helicopter, because this pilot's done this before." So I'm like, "Okay, good idea." Well, I'd never done this before, so he's like, "Okay, we're at a good point here, so I'm going to." Sorry, I was just reading the comments here. Yes, Larry. Yeah, tell me some details in a private message. So yeah, but I'm glad you're doing well. I walk funny, but that's just because I'm funny looking, I guess. I actually have a limp because I have my right leg shorter than my left leg. Stupid motorcycle wreck. So I'm up in the helicopter. I'm harnessed in. Pilot says, "Okay, we're ready. You can open the door, but be really careful. You can open the door and let the ashes out." Okay, so I'm in a helicopter, right? Let me reset this. I'm in a helicopter. I'm harnessed in. You ever been in a helicopter? And it's a good sized helicopter. I think it was a Bell Jet Ranger 206. And I turn, and the door's here, right? So the door's right here, and I turn, and I'm like trying to open the door, and there's the wash, the air, is making it a little difficult. So let me get a wider angle here. What the heck? I have no thing behind me. Everybody's waiting for the story, right? There we go. So I can't turn very well, and I'm harnessed in. So I'm like, I told the pilot, I'm going to have to unbuckle myself, and so I can get out to this area here. And he's like, "Be very careful. Be really careful." I'm like, "Okay, I no problem." So I unharness myself, and I get to the door, and I'm still having a difficult time because I can't turn, and there's a plastic bag inside the plastic bucket, so I'm having to open the bag and stuff, and then I'm going to have to hold the bucket with one hand, and I'm going to have to turn and hold on, one more thing here. Adjust that a little bit. It's bugging me. So I have to turn to get to the door, to get the ashes, my dad's ashes in this bucket, out the door, right? So as I'm turning, I'm like, I still can't do it. And I'm like, I'm going to have to step out of the door. And the pilot's like, no way, no. So yes, I'm going to have to step out the door. So I'm opening the door with one hand. I got the bucket with the other hand, and I'm leaning. I'm trying to, okay, so then I get the bucket in the left hand, and then I push the door, and I'm holding the door, and I still can't get out. So I step out on the skid. You know how the helicopter has a skid. Lucky for me, I didn't fall out. Yeah, it gets worse, Jim. This is crazy. So I'm out. I'm out on the skid of the helicopter, hanging onto the door with one hand for dear life, right? And then I'm hanging on to my dad's ashes with the other. And, it's a helicopter. It's not perfect, right? So I'm standing on the skid, leaning up against the frame of the helicopter, and I'm hanging on to the door, and I'm starting to pour the ashes. And as I start to pour the ashes, the helicopter hit some turbulence, and the helicopter did a kind of a movement like that. So he's yelling at me. I don't have my headset on anymore because it's in the seat now, and he's yelling, "Here, hang on!" So I'm hanging onto the door of the helicopter, and as I let the ashes go, they went in this big bundle all by themselves, and the ashes made this. It was like in slow motion. The ashes went out, and instead of going back and away, because the helicopter was now doing this, or doing some kind of catching up with itself, the ashes did this big motion. It's like this weird cloud ball. It's kind of going like this, and it goes around, and it went around, and it came back, and it hit me. All my dad's ashes hit me all at once. And I was covered in my dad's ashes. And for a moment, I was horrified. It was traumatizing for a second. And so I turned to the pilot. At this moment, I'm now, I dropped the bucket back inside the helicopter, and I turned to the pilot. Hang on to the door, and I go, 1 minute. He's turning red. He's trying not to laugh. He's turning beet red. You could tell he was laughing, but he's trying not to. So I can only imagine that my face was covered because I'm like going, because it's in my mouth. And my dad's ashes are in my mouth, and I'm wiping it out of my eyes. And so then I'm dusting myself off on the outside of a helicopter over a mountain, several thousand feet above a mountain, wiping my dad's ashes off my clothes. And spitting. Ooh, my dad's ashes did not taste good, let me tell you. It was traumatizing for a moment, but then it was funny as hell. All right. So that's my story about how passing of my father and how I got rid of his ashes out of a helicopter and I wore my dad's ashes. And this next song, I might as well do this next song. Was written after my dad passed away. It was written for him. Obviously, he went with a bang. Well, I want to go out Dr. Hunter S. Thompson with a bang. Yeah, Jim says, lucky for you didn't fall out. I came close to falling, but I had a death grip on that door. Danny says, well, something is with you, Danny. There's a crow flying. A raven. Actually, I think that was a raven. Let's go. This song is called "The Big Blue Sky." My dad had juggled with his beliefs in a higher power, in God. And so after he died, I wrote this song.
I met God and asked him why all the people are dying. I looked at Jesus and I sighed for all the people crying, when so many children in the world in pain and misery, while the Lord looks down upon us all and he doesn't do a thing. But the point is, we all need someone Lend a helping hand when the weight of the world is crashing down, and it makes it hard to stand. And when we look up to the heavens, for all the reasons why, do you think we're talking to our Father, or just a big blue sky? Even Batman needed Robin for those really bad days, and the Lone Ranger needed Tonto just to help him find his way. And Superman, he had Lois just to keep the story straight. And then there's Larry, Moe, and Curly. Between them all they had one brain. But the point is, we all need someone to lend a helping hand when the weight of the world is crashing down, and it makes it hard to stand. When we look up to the heavens, for all the reasons why, do you think we're talking to our Father, or just a big blue sky? Ooh, sky. Then when Satan comes a knocking up to your back door, and you know he's taking all your friends, now he's coming back for more. Well, you can meet your grim reaper, you can look him in the eye and tell him to go straight back to hell, 'cause you're not ready yet to die. But the point is, we all need someone to lend a helping hand when the weight of the world is crashing down, and it makes it hard to stand. When we look up to the heavens, for all the reasons why, do you think we're talking to our Father, or just a big blue sky? Do you think we're talking to our Father, or just a big blue sky? Do you think we're talking to our Father, or just a big blue sky?
8 billion people asking this question. Hey, look at this. That camera thinks it's 2016. I never even paid attention to that. I don't keep a battery in these cameras. These cameras, that one's a handy cam, a Sony. This one's a Sony. But this one, and this one are all cheap, like $25 high definition sports cameras, like a GoPro, but cheap knockoff type of GoPro. But they have HDMI output, 1080p. So but they're really cheap. So I take the batteries out and then just have them connected to USB for power. And so I guess since there's no battery in that one, and I turn it off and on with the power, it doesn't retain its memory. It has no marbles. It can't keep its marbles. But also this one right here, this particular one, doesn't have an option to memorize the display when I want to turn off the on-screen display. So I have to go down here and do that manually. Yes. So I have to do that every time to get rid of the on-screen display, the OSD. The other two cameras I have, they're a little newer, and they memorize that, so it's not a problem. All right, so where was I? Where are we? I'm in the studio, right? Where is? Oh, click here, and click there. There we go. Okay, so that song was Big Blue Sky, and like I said, I wrote it after my father passed away because he had juggled with his beliefs over the years and didn't really believe in God, but believed there was something out there. So I thought it was interesting to point out that, are we really talking to our Father or just a big blue sky? One of the funny things about this song is it juggles around. There's a G, E minor, C, D, over and over again. And then on the third time it goes to an A minor. G, E minor, A minor, C. G, E minor, C, D. I guess that would be agnostic. But my dad always said he was on the fence. So I guess that does mean agnostic, but he did have some different beliefs. He believed that we were all interconnected and that there is some spiritual. He did have some spirituality about him, but he did not like organized religion. But sometimes he believed there was a God and sometimes he didn't. I'm not going to talk about my beliefs on here because one of the things I'm avoiding from my daily streams, from my live streams and live performances, as I'm focusing on music and trying to interact with my friends here, and I'm keeping religion and politics out of it. I have my thoughts. I know you have yours, and I love you guys all. So we will just avoid any of those conversations. So anyway, during the main chorus, the song toggles around and then hits that A minor. But during the chorus, it hits that A minor in a different way. Now, in the band I was playing with in Tucson, the bass guitar player always kept making fun about the A chord. He's like, "When do we do the A chord?" And I'm like, "I'll just look over at you and nod when we're doing the A chord, right?" As kind of a joke, but then it just kind of stuck, and every time we played it, I just kept looking at him, nodding for the A chord. And the camera just changed on me. So anyway, it was pretty funny, and now every time I hit the A chord, I just kind of crack up, and I think it's funny. My phone just beeped at me because my friend Tony Scott over here in Virginia just popped in a message on Facebook and said, "New song, our God is a part-time God. He reigns whenever he wants." That's a good thought. That's funny. So anyway, every time I play the song and I hit that A chord, it just kind of makes me smile. Sometimes you'll catch me smiling during that, and I feel like nodding my head. So let's see what's next. Did I play anything? I haven't played anything other than choose songs, right? I wrote a song about my dad, A Big Blue Sky. I wrote a song about when my uncle was around, called A Bright Shining Life, and when my uncle passed away. The song's called Bright Shining Life, and another one called Be Forever, and I wrote another song about somebody else that passed away. And at the time, my mother, she's like, well, you wrote a song about this person, you wrote a song about that person, you wrote a song about your father, but you haven't written a song about me. And I said, Mother, you kind of have to be dead before I'm going to write this. They're dead. Do you want me to write a song about you? Crazy lady. She passed away in 2017. I haven't written a song about her yet. Or was it 2016? I can't keep track. Time just keeps going on, and I can't keep track of when things are. This is my short-term memory in my motorcycle wreck actually a car wreck back when I was in my 20s. I had head injury, and dates and times and certain things are really wishy-washy after that. So I have a bad short-term memory when it comes to dates and times. Danny, after your Homer, we'll set up a state of the art studio for you to do your show from heaven. I'm not dying. Didn't you get that part? Or hell. I like that. Thanks, Jim. Or hell, wherever we might be. It's just a living hell right now. No, I have achieved immortality so far. It's working out pretty good right now. I'm not dying. That little piece there, I actually, this part, I kind of composed that when I was 18 years old. Through my friend Larry and I, we met some girls, and we were hanging out with them, and this girl pulled out a guitar, and she was she was playing, and she could finger pick like that, and I'd never done that before. All I was strumming. So then after I saw that, I'm like, well, she was only 17 years old and she could finger pick. And I'm like, so I taught myself how to finger pick, and that was the first thing I did when I learned that was made that up. And then over the years, I kind of added to it. But thank you, Danny. I hope everybody appreciates all the junk that's going on the computer, because I am taxing my computer. It does not like all the stuff that I do with all the different camera angles I've got in here, all the different stuff going on. This software that does the streaming to 3 different places at once with windows open, and I've got my keyboards remotely connected to this computer, and I'm remotely connecting to a keyboard on the other side of the screen and a keyboard module over here. So the computer, every once in a while when I'm playing the piano, it's really kind of funny. Sometimes it'll stop in the middle of what I'm playing, and there'll be like a delay, and then it catches up. And it's like, sometimes it's quite frustrating. Like it's all these toys that I like to play with. I mean, I don't know if all of you have seen all the stuff that's going on my computer right now. This is the program that I'm using. I'm going to go to a screenshot here. This is the program that I'm using to do all this with. It's called vMix, and this is my screen for the streaming software here. So if you see the mouse over here on this window here up in the upper right, that's the stop doing that. It's still automatically scrolling through all the stuff. So yeah, in the upper right, that's what's going out, and the upper left is the preview window, and then all the stuff down here in the bottom left are all the windows and options and all the camera angles. There's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, kind of 9 possible camera angles there out of 6 cameras. And then down here, we've got this guy right here. Check this out. Boom. Hello, everybody. How many of me do you need? Let's just cut that back down here. There we go. And then there's this one over here that I haven't used in a while. But it's the camera angle here, and then up here, right up here, is supposed to be the keyboard, and then over on the left here is supposed to be a screen for other stuff. so anyway, that's I don't know why the camera angle's not working on that one. I think I have to change it or something. But anyway, that's what's going on in my computer. And let's go back to the screen over here again. So that's Facebook there on the right, and then on the left is actually the program that I used to interact with one of my keyboards. It's connected to a Korg on the other side of the room. It's all fun stuff to play with. Some people used to call me Inspector Gadget, and some people called me MacGyver. Different places where I work, because I was always able to fix things in non-conventional ways to get the equipment running and then fix it right later. MacGyver. I like that. Do they ever call you late for dinner? All the time. Or never. So instead of a bass guitar, I sometimes use my electric guitar and just use an octave changer. Where's the other camera angle? Danny, I think it's because of the time. That's it. Jim's got her down. He's got it figured out. Lost my egg. Good night, Colonel. So, I've had my theories about why I don't get that many viewers. One is I'm older than the average viewer. I'm a lot older than the average viewers on Periscope. You lost more than your egg. Also, I'm on the West Coast, so 5 o'clock my time is 8 o'clock East Coast time, and around the planet, everybody is in bed. So... and I guess for a lot of people, I'm just not that interesting. But I do it anyway because I got to keep playing. Peace, love, and harmony. Thank you, Colonel. That is the saying. Is that, what do you call that? A catchphrase? As the credits are rolling. Play my Wurlitzer piano. These days I'm going to play all the different, I'm going to start doing a thing where I'm just going to do all the different instruments in my keyboards list. There's like 200 different sounds, and then added onto that there's all kinds of other songs added with that. Very welcome, Danny. Thank you. Adios. Thank you so much. All right, cut that out. Okay. Okay. Bye. Wherever you are on the planet, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening. Peace, love, and harmony.